Please say it 3 times together. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good evening to everyone. As usual, as we do on every day, I would like to wish that you have a very good spiritual experience on this day too, during this sitting. May you be able to concentrate your mind, and may you be able to develop a lot of loving kindness within, and may you develop spiritually. So give you everything and work hard. 2023 is about to be over. We only have two, including this sitting, we only have 2 more sittings to finish. At the beginning, we thought we have a long time. On January, when we sat for the first week sitting, first Friday sitting, we thought we had a long time. But the truth is, time, we cannot measure the time by constitutional means. I mean, we say the day, we say the hour, we calculate the time as minutes, right? And seconds, like that. But the time is time. For our benefit, we give constitutional words to recognize particular periods of time. But the truth is, time is flying very fast. It has by words, you can't recognize it. Right? It is flying very, very fast. That's why Buddha always asked us. His last word was, oh dear Dhamma friends, be haste. Be haste. Everything is impermanent. Therefore, so work hard and don't delay anything. Right? Therefore, understand time won't stay for you. You have to understand the preciousness of your time. And when there is something to do on time, don't hesitate, don't postpone, do it on time. When it comes to the spiritual practice, it is the same. So think day-wise, right? And take present moment as it is. So if you you schedule the time, right? Every day you schedule a particular time to sit and meditate. And during that time, whatever it happens, if there is no any emergency, try your best to sit at that time and practice meditation. That time is not going to come again. Got it? With that understanding, we are getting ready to practice today's meditation practice too. If you are an old student, please practice the second step of loving kindness meditation. What is the second step of loving kindness meditation? You spread your loving kindness direction-wise. Direction-wise means to the north. We think about all the beings in the north without discriminating them. It doesn't matter whoever those beings are. Let them be human beings, animals, and then visible beings or invisible beings. Let them be beautiful or ugly. Without discriminating any of them, we are going to share our loving kindness with all of them. At the bottom of our heart. You sincerely do that. And then you think about all the beings in the south, all the beings in the east, and then west, above you and below you. And then you will think, may they be free from anger and hatred, ill will and jealousy, like that. You will spread loving kindness using the sentences that I told you. The newcomers, they will be asked to practice the basic loving kindness meditation. Basic loving kindness meditation it goes like this. First, you think of yourself. In this whole world, what the person that we love the most is I. So please spread your loving kindness towards yourself first. Right? Then please think about your parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. Right? Then after that, please think about the people who are in the middle, the neutral people. Who are the neutral people? The people who are not your friends, at the same time who are not your enemies. Right? The neutral people. And then we think about our enemies. We have enemies, right? There are people that we have grudges at. So then we think about those enemies and we share a loving kindness. And finally, we think about all the beings, right? And then we share our loving kindness with them too. Thinking like this. First, you think about yourself as, may I be well. You share your loving kindness with yourself, thinking, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be peaceful. Right? Then, may my parents, teachers, relatives, and friends be well, be happy, be peaceful. Then, may the neutral people, the people who are in the middle, right, who don't have a side, may they also be well, be happy, be peaceful. Then after that, may my enemies be well, be happy, be peaceful. Right? Then finally, may all the beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Right? Like that, please try to spread your sincere loving kindness towards all those beings accordingly. Right? Well, from group to group. Right? Okay. I always ask you to mix your loving kindness with your day-to-day activities. We might have a lot of degrees in education. So I'm also working for a degree, right? Degrees are important. That's why we have meditation on Thursday. So somehow degrees are important. So we learn them to become better in the fields that we are working in, and at the same time to help the other people. But at the same time, you have to develop, right? You have to develop so ethical thinking and empathy and humbleness. You have to share these qualities with the other people. If not, your education is not complete, right? I would like to share one letter which was sent by a student who faced the Holocaust and who was trapped inside a concentration camp for a long period of time, and finally fortunately he could survive. His name was Haim G. Ginot. He's a Jewish student. So he wrote a short letter, but a very powerful letter, very meaningful letter to his teacher. So let's see what he wrote to his teacher. He writes, "Dear teacher, I am a survivor of a concentration camp. My eyes saw what no person should witness. Gas chambers built by learned engineers. Children prisoned by educated physicians. Infants killed by trained nurses. Women and babies shot and burned by high school and college graduates. So I am suspicious of education. My request is, help your students become more human. Your efforts must never produce learned monsters, skilled psychopaths, educated. So Ekmans. Do you know Ekmans? Ekman means he was a doctor. So he was doctor. Uh, so who lived during the Second World War, and he did very so horrible experiments on the prisoners. Right. Then reading, writing, and arithmetic are important only if they serve to make our children more human. Right. So um, loving kindness, even though you are educated, at the same time you have to grow these qualities within, especially loving kindness. Loving kindness, if you mix loving kindness in your day-to-day life with the education that you get, so you gain the ability to take ethical decisions. It helps you to make ethical decisions, right? And at the same time, you gain the ability to understand the other people, do things, understand the other people, right? And at the same time, you gain the ability to work with empathy. You gain the ability to feel the other person's suffering, right? You won't become a narcissist, right? Who only cares about your thing. Instead, you will feel empathy towards the other people. And at the same time, you will become a person who respect the other people's rights, right? So not only you get the so I mean subject based education, you have to develop, you have to mix it, you have to mix in your life the qualities, the great qualities like loving kindness, compassion, and sympathetic joy. Sympathetic joy means being happy when the other people become successful. A sympathetic joy and equanimity. Then you will become a completed human being. Sometimes you won't be able to gain a very high education. You won't have big capital letters after your name, right? So there are so many capital letters, right? BA, MA, I mean PhD, like that. Sometimes you won't have those capital letters behind your names, but still you will be able to live well without harming anyone else. So please mix these qualities: loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, equanimity, such kind of qualities, and morality, concentration, and wisdom. Mix them into your life. Even though you don't have those capital letters, you will be able to live a good life. Harmless, harmonious, peaceful life. Right? Please practice and live your life like that. So, not only you practice meditation, mix loving kindness meditation, mix it into your life, mix it into the activities that you do every day. Okay? With that instruction, we are going to start. Now, everyone, please keep your back straight, neck straight, and head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. Take a calm breath. Breathe in, and then please breathe out. Take another deep breath, and please let it go. Let your whole body to relax. Let your whole body to relax. First, I'm going to pay our respect and gratitude towards Buddha, and after that, we are going to start today's meditation. Everyone, please concentrate. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase itimiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho Vijacharana sampanno sugato lokamido anuttaro purisa dhammasarati satta deva manusanam buddho bhagavati swakato bhagavata dhammo Sangtitiko akaliko ehi pasiko opanayiko paccatang meditabbo vinyuhiti supanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujupanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyaya patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Sami chimatipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Yadinang chattari purisa yugani Ate purisa puggala Ese bhagavato savaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo Dakineyo anjali karaniyo Anutterang punyakitang lokasati Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, with a balanced, very patient mind, with a mind of full of loving kindness. Everyone, please start your meditation. If you are practicing the simple meditation, if you are a beginner, please do so. If you are an old student, please keep practicing the advanced, second step of loving kindness meditation. Whatever the meditation technique that you practice, may your meditation be very, very successful. Very, very successful. Everyone, please start your meditation right now. Mm. Bhavettu sabbe mangalam Rakhantu sabbe devatam Samme buddhanubhamin Samme dhammanubhamin Samme sanghanu Sada sutti bhavantuti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now, everyone, very calmly and quietly, with a peaceful mind, please open your eyes. Let your whole body to relax from top to bottom and bottom to top. Let your whole body to relax. Now please join your palms together and say 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, hope you could concentrate and you could develop a lot of loving kindness within. And today, as scheduled, I am not the one who is going to lead the Dhamma talk. So you are the one. You can ask the questions that you have about your meditation practice. If there is any, today is the day that you can discuss, and I will help you to solve those problems, and then to move forward in your meditation practice. So before I allow you, once again I would like to remind, if you are an old student, please don't forget to practice Vipassana. Please keep on practicing Vipassana too. As I instructed earlier, before we started loving kindness meditation, on the last week of Vipassana day, I told you to dedicate at least 5 minutes for breathing meditation, and then 10-15 minutes for Vipassana meditation. And after that, loving kindness meditation, right? Please, all students, please go with that schedule. And new students, you can, if you join right at the loving kindness meditation time, please practice loving kindness meditation. And if you got the chance to teach you breathing meditation, please practice that one too. If you were taught, please practice that one at the beginning for about 5 minutes, and then dedicate the other time, the rest of your scheduled time, to practice loving kindness meditation. That is for the newcomers. So all students, 5 minutes breathing, 10-15 minutes or more for Vipassana, and after that, loving kindness meditation. New students, 5 minutes breathing meditation, then after that, loving kindness meditation, right? Then if you are not taught about loving breathing meditation, then please practice with loving kindness meditation, right? Okay. Now I will allow you to ask questions. So wait for a moment. Right. We'll start. Bipul, do you have any question?
I asked you last time also about it, relating the emotions with the actual words. I feel like I still struggle with that.
Emotions. Can you explain? I mean, emotions means I'm referring to thoughts.
So when I say, for example, others be free from anger and hatred. So if you have them be free from that, I have to evoke the emotion within my life. To give the example of the past, if I had that emotion where I was that I didn't have to overcome that, so I can express it to others. I can't do it with myself as well, so that I can express it to others.
Then Bipul, there might be something which is there. Maybe you are not happy and contented with yourself. So you have to develop contentment and happiness about yourself too. You have you are so lucky, right? You have to think that you are so lucky to have a good occupation, and then after that, so you have a good income, and you have the ability to feed yourself, right? And then clothe yourself and live under a good roof, right? So thinking about, and you got a good education, good parents, right? Now you got the meditation technique too, right? All these things, you've got all these things. But there are millions and millions of people who don't have this. Can you remember I told you about one experience that my master experienced when he was in Tanzania? Can you remember? Who can remember? Mr. Howard, can you remember? Triashway?
I didn't hear your question again about what about
I mean,
haunting.
can you remember the story that I mean, the experience that I shared? Well, it is not an experience of me. It's an experience of my master. So the key word is UNICEF.
There's so many stories, but that's not one that sticks out of my mind.
All right. Let me tell you. My master, before he came here, he was in Tanzania. So there is a Sri Lankan temple in Tanzania. So he was there helping those people in Africa. And I'm talking about 90s. And in 90s, there, do you know, there was a famine in Africa. And it was not raining. There was a long-lasting drought, right? Then people were lacking enough food to eat. They didn't have food to eat, and they didn't have water to drink, right? Even they didn't have muddy water, right? You might have heard that certain people drink muddy water, right? In certain African countries, they even didn't have that. Then my master went with certain UNICEF workers. They asked my master to come along with them. So they went along with, they went together to feed and help those people. Then UNICEF was out of money too. They were out of donations. So what did they do is they found banana trunks for a cheaper price. So they cut those banana trunks into slices. You know banana trunks, right? So they cut it into slices. Then they brought those things to those villages. The people who are affected by this famine, so they were living together at one place. So that's how the government organized everything. Then what they did, they threw banana slices, banana fruits, so slices of the banana trunk towards those people. And my master said, they even cannot walk, but with their weak bodies, they started fighting for banana trunks. It was a very sad thing. So have you ever experienced that kind of thing? No, right? Then you have to, what are you lacking, right? We have a lot of expectations. When certain expectations go wrong, then we think, generally we are tempted to think, we still didn't get certain things, so I'm not happy. We should not think like that. Sometimes we get certain things, and at the same time we don't get certain things. That is the nature. So we have to focus on the things that we achieve, and we have to consider that we are very lucky. Right? And so there are so many people who dream to come to United States, right? Because many people consider it as one of the most developed countries, right? And people love the freedom here. Then you got that chance that many people don't get. Sometimes millions of people don't get that chance, even though they try, right? Thinking about such kind of things, I mean that the things that you got, we have to develop contentment with it. And we have to appreciate yourself. You have to appreciate yourself. Oh, I could do these things. I could do these things. Yes, certain things might have not gone well. Certain things may be happening according to the way that you don't like. But still, there are so many things that already happened according to the way that I wished. So I'm happy. And then, when thinking in these means, in this manner, you should try to develop contentment and happiness about yourself with it. And then we have shared that, so then we gain the ability to develop these emotions with it, right? Then at the same time, if you cannot, even though um, you develop these kinds of thoughts, but still if you cannot develop those emotions towards the other people, then please do it slowly. Loving kindness practice, please do it slowly. When you share your loving kindness, take time for one sentence. For an example, if you wish that may the beings in the north, uh, be free from anger and hatred. Wait until you feel it. Right? Think, if someone is free from anger and hatred, what kind of relaxation that person could gain, right? Can gain. Then think about those. So good side of not having anger, and then you will be able to develop the emotion. So then you can go slow too, right? but not all the time. When you are used to that emotion, then you can go with the speed that you go, right? That you can go. You can use those two ways. Then I think you'll succeed before. You have developed a lot. You definitely can do this before. Yes. Let's do like that. Me. Ramagaru.
Actually, you already answered the question. I think that's exactly what I was looking for. If you had chance, my question is also very next. So, I mean, I was trying to ask you, how can we calm ourselves and keep our person as more stable by using meditation? It helps me a lot to stay calm, but I know like sometimes I still how do we put it like we still lose our calmness and everything. So how can we get more better? I wanted to ask that, but you already answered.
Ramagaru, earlier I told you, right? So whatever the concentration and loving kindness that you develop within, you have to mix it in your day-to-day life. Uh, there is an adage in in our countries. I mean, adage, right? So there is an adage in our countries. Uh, the sword, it is not to keep inside the kitchen. So it is to use during the war. So loving kindness and concentration that you develop and the insight that you develop during Vipassana meditation, it is not to keep inside yourself. It is to you develop those things to practically use in your day-to-day life. Right? If not, the purpose is not served. Practice meditation to live a peaceful life, happy life, a mindful life, a comfortable life. So if you want that, you have to use whatever the qualities that you develop, you have to mix them in your day-to-day life. Right? It's okay. It's okay if the mind wanders. It's okay sometimes, even though you lose the concentration and you get angry or such kind of emotion. You don't understand. You don't understand. Next time, so next when first with the understandings that you have and the qualities that you develop, try to come out of it. And whenever you got rid of the situation, determine, I'm not letting to happen again. I'm not letting my anger to rise up again. I'll stay mindful. Then train yourself continuously to be mindful. And whenever your anger comes, use loving kindness, use compassion, use sympathetic joy. Then, then use insight. This emotion, this anger, this jealousy, or this ill will, this thought of ill will, this is not going to last forever. This is impermanent. This is changing. If I let this to grow, then what will happen is I'm going to create a huge fire inside me, and I'm going to share that fire with the other people. So I'm not letting this fire to grow. Then what for fire? What we should do? What should we do? We have to throw a bucket of water or the ingredients, the chemical that can control fire. Similarly, you have to, if it is anger, for an example, then you throw loving kindness. Loving kindness is the water, that chemical which can control the anger. Then you gain the ability to control that emotion. Right, Ramgan? Nasif.
I guess one thing I was wondering today is with the breathing meditation, I was feeling like, is it just like I'm trying a temporary escape from reality, or like was it really making me calm? I was feeling like it's just like more escapism or not. So that would be probably the question.
So escaping from the reality?
Yes.
Oh no. So do you breathe?
Yeah.
Then you breathe. For what are we breathing? To live, right? So then just like we breathe to live, right? We need mindfulness for a proper living. And whenever you observe the breath, it is not some kind of an imaginary thing, right? It is something which is happening right now, right? It is not some kind of a hallucination. Or I mean, it is not some kind of a some kind of thing that you create by your mind, right? So you train your mind at that time to be with the reality, to connect with this present moment, right? Then it is not imagination. So it is a training that you do to connect with this present moment. Just like the breath, connecting with the present moment, for that a synonym is mindfulness. So what you do is, what you do during the breathing meditation is you develop your ability of mindfulness. You develop your ability to connect with the present moment. It's not a hallucination, right, Nasi?
Yes.
Right. So then you train yourself to be at this moment, right? To be with the moment called now. Then, right? Did you get the idea?
I get it, but this is not like it was just today as only. Is it like I'm being mindful, or I'm just escaping from like all the worries in my head? Like,
Oh, no. Uh, so when you observe your breath at that time, true. If you really focus, then um, the other problems and the things which are happening around you, or the things which happened in your life in the past, so those things are not going to come, because it is not escaping. When you consider it, what happens is, so yeah, what happens is, so at one time you can't think two thoughts. You can, with one thought you can only think about one thing. When you focus on your breath, what happens is, so the 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 thoughts, they only concentrate on your breath, and they don't concentrate on the present matters or past matters or future matters at that time. So that's why you feel like you are escaping from the present. It doesn't mean that you are escaping from the problems. So you develop um, the concentration inside you, and you develop enough energy inside you to deal with it, right? If you live with a lot of problems inside, then uh, then uh, then you have to live your whole life with unhappiness, right? But here, so um here you develop the ability to gather yourself and face those problems mindfully, right? So it's not hallucination, right, Nasi? Then let's talk about that on Sunday, right? Priya?
Yeah, so during the love and kindness meditation, so I was wondering, like, so you talked about the people in the middle, like one of friends and one of enemies, and also who are enemies. So I don't know, like I like probably stayed in my mind but like what should come into my like thoughts or imagination at that time, I'm not sure. Like
People in the middle. People in the middle means it's hard to spread loving kindness towards the people in the middle, and then it's harder to the hardest part of sharing loving kindness is sharing loving kindness with your enemies. Sometimes you won't be able to share your loving kindness well with those two groups. Why? Because when it comes to the people in the middle, you think our notion is they are not useful to us. Right? Then it's harder. It's hard to share loving kindness with them. It's easier to share loving kindness with a loved one because we think that they are useful to us, right? But when it comes to the people who are not useful to us, right? Then if they didn't do anything for us, then it's hard to share loving kindness with them. But here, this is a point where you develop selflessness. So you are going beyond. We are always tempted to think with selfishness, but here you gradually you let go of that thought of selfishness, and then what you do is you are trying to practice. So by sharing your loving kindness with the people in the middle, you try to develop selflessness, even though they are not giving me any benefit, but still I love them. Right? It's hard, but you have to sincerely do it. And then hardest part is the enemies, right? You have hatred towards it. Then, but still, you have to understand that even though we have certain grudges towards them, keeping a grudge, it is just like keeping a fire, keeping a uh, uh, keeping a burning charcoal on your hand and waiting until your enemy comes, so that you can throw it to that enemy. The more you keep that burning charcoal on your hand, the enemy is not the one who is going to suffer. You are the one who is going to suffer, right? Then what you should do? You have to throw that charcoal away, right? Then you will be comfortable, you will be happy. If not, what will happen? Then you will keep on thinking about that enemy, and then you will suffer, right? We don't want to suffer. Not only that, then when we feel uncomfortable throughout the life, until you have that grudge with you, you feel uncomfortable throughout your life until it exists with you. So when you develop hateful thoughts, it's not bringing happiness for you. It brings unhappiness, right? It brings discomfort. Then what you should do is you have to let, right? You have to let though that grudge, that enmity go. We don't have a long life. I mean, we don't have a very long life to live. I told you, right? If we have 100 years, 50 years we sleep, right? Then we actually live for 50 years. And among those 50 years too, if we dedicate 20 years for our young age, and again 10, 15 years for our old age, then we only have a very short period of time to live. Right? Within that short period of time too, if you develop grudges and keep hating the other people and right? If we keep getting angry at the other people, then that's not how we live, right? We want to live that small part of our life, right? With comfort, with peace, with happiness. Then you don't want to practice unhealthy practices, right? Unhealthy mental habits inside. So what you should do is you have to let those grudges go. Then um, sharing your loving kindness with them. We have to understand they are human nature too. There is no being in this world who likes to suffer. All beings in this world, they like to live comfortably. Even the enemy. We call someone enemy or enemy because uh, because of our perspective, our point of view. But inside that person, actually, there is no enemy. That is the truth. If that person is actually a bad person, an enemy, then everybody should hate her or him, right? But there are so many people that love her or him, right? There are so many people who adore and appreciate that person. Then it lies on our perspective. There is no an eternal being, eternal person that can be called as eternally good or eternally bad. People are changing. Understanding this nature, we should try to develop equanimity, balanced mind towards it. But that a good way is practicing loving kindness towards it. Then it helps your selflessness. It develops your selflessness and equanimity, and it helps you to go deeper with your loving kindness. Your loving kindness goes deeper if you gain the ability to share loving kindness with your enemies, right? So try your best and try to share your loving kindness with the people in the middle, and then with the people, so with the enemies too.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I understood that. Like, but if I do not have any image of any enemies, like I actually don't consider anyone in enemies. So, like, how should I like concentrate and focus on that, like love and kindness towards enemies?
Oh, so you can think if there is any person who dislike you, right? Who dislike you, who have any so enmity towards you, even though you don't know, right? There may be beings who are living and who are not living, right? In these samsaric lives, we might have had a lot of enemies. So let's focus on all of them and let's share our loving kindness, right? If there is, so keeping the if forward, term if forward, then share your loving kindness with your enemies. I'm so glad that you don't consider anyone as an enemy. So there is nobody actually that can be called an enemy. Right. Very nice. Right. Let's go to one of the online students too. Miss Lise, do you have any question?
Hi, Bhante. Thank you for the meditation. I believe you work with children and you teach them about meditation, right?
Yes.
Can you share a little bit when you work with kids?
Oh.
How you teach them about meditation and what you see is the beginning of their understanding of how meditation can help them with suffering, freedom from suffering. Does that make
Oh.
sense?
Yes.
Thank
So,
you.
Mrs. Lisa, for kids, you can't teach deeper meditations. So you only have to select 3 techniques. One is first one is walking meditation. Then second one is breathing meditation, and third one is loving kindness meditation. So you can select one of them. Then after that, so just I do at the beginning. So I also teach you just like I teach you to kids. I mean, you have to teach them at first how to sit. So with the comfortable posture, keeping back straight, neck straight, head straight. And then after that, you have to ask them to keep the right palm on their left palm, and then ask them to close their eyes, right? Then, so if then after that, you can teach loving kindness or breathing meditation to them. If not, if you are going to teach walking meditation to them, you can't teach them deeper walking meditation. Just ask them, give them a distance of maybe 10 yards and ask them to walk back and forth, focusing on the movement of their legs. I mean, if they move their right leg forward, ask them to be aware that they are moving their right leg forward. If they are moving their left leg forward, please ask them to focus on their left leg. Like that, please ask them to concentrate on the legs, movement of their legs. Got it, Miss Liz? Miss Liz?
Yes, thank you, Bante.
Me, okay. Mr. Bas, do you have any question? Mr. Bas? Christian, do you have any question?
Hi, Bante. Thank you so much today for this.
Me, Mr. Christian.
I remember a few weeks back you were talking about the importance of unity, and I was wondering how you maybe do your best in order to maintain that unity, in different settings, whatever they may be.
All right. First, it starts with the mind. First, you should like unity. That's number one. So you should have an idea when there is a unified environment, when there is an community of unity. You should be aware how happy they would feel, how comfortable they would feel about each other. That's where it should start. It starts with the mind. And then number two, you have to tell the words when you talk with them. You have to speak words. So speak words that encourage their unity. Right. Okay, okay, Mr. Bass, wait for a moment. So you have told them the words that encourage them in staying with unity. Then you have to encourage them. You have to convince them about the happiness. So directly or indirectly, you have to so encourage them and tell them about the happiness that everyone can feel when all are in unity, right? Then at the same time, then when you talk to, you have to be careful not to use the words that divide people. Instead, you have to use always the words that unify people, right? Then at the same time, you can organize actions that physical actions that can unify people. For an example, when someone's birthday is there, so you can simply remind everyone, and ask everyone, all the other members of that community or the workplace, to congratulate that person. I mean, to say happy birthday. Or if you can move forward, and if you can bring a cake on that day, it doesn't need to be a big cake, so, right? A small cake, and then you can celebrate it with the other people, other members. So that can help a lot. And whenever you can, so you can arrange gatherings or something like that, for them to understand each other and to appreciate each other. Uh, Another thing is, you have to appreciate everyone. Whenever they did something small or a big thing, appreciation also is a main point of creating unity among people, right? So you can do those things in brief. First, it should start with the mind. Then you have to use unifying words. And then number 3, you have to create unifying actions. You have to do unifying actions. Then everything will be fine. Got it, Mr. Christian?
Thank you so much, Bhante. I appreciate that.
Right. Then Mr. Buzz.
Howdy, howdy, Bhante. I work in often chaotic environments, and I don't have a chance to get any quiet time in those. Is there a way to kind of clear my mind in the midst of like unavoidable chaos and get something approaching meditation?
Right. The same thing that I taught to people and Ramgaru at the beginning. Mr. Bas, you have to be mindful. I mean, when you do one thing, focus on that. So when you finish that one, when you have another thing to do, focus on that and don't think about the thing which you did in the which you did previously, right? Give your entire attention to this one. When you keep when you keep all those things that you did that you did previously inside your mind, then your mind feels tired, right? You start to think, oh, I have done a lot of things, I did this one, that one, this one, that one, like that. But when you start to enjoy and focus on the present thing, I hope that you will be able, not hope, actually, it happens. So you will be able to keep your mind relaxed, even though the environment is somewhat chaotic. Mr. Bas, can you do that?
I muted myself. Thank you, Bhante.
Very nice. Please do that. Okay. Let's try, and please let me know next time. If not, during the breathing meditation period, I mean, during those 4 months, hope you will gain that ability by practice. Now let's go to Sriyansh Bhaiya.
You've almost answered my question as well when you were answering the other people. It's the same thing. Like initially, I could not even feel the loving kindness, joy, happiness, whatever it was. But thanks to the meditation practice, I am at a place where I can feel it while I'm meditating, but then it disappears. During the day when you're interacting at your work and people, it goes away. Sometimes anger takes over, frustration, not anger as such, but frustration, agitation. And in that moment, I'm not able to lean into, being mindful, being calm, or sending them loving kindness.
So whenever it goes wrong, so you are so much developed, Sriyansh. So what you should do is, right away when you realize that, you have to come into your senses. Be mindful, and then whenever you got into your senses, use all the insight loving kindness and consideration that you develop, and come out of the situation, right? Accordingly.
Yes.
Use these tools. These are tools that I gave you. When the enemy comes, you have to use, right?
I'll be trying, but I haven't. I'll get there.
Yes, very nice. Shiva Kumar Bhaiya.
I'm good. This is the first time I'm doing the learning credits.
So could you concentrate?
Yeah. Yes, she mentioned like, even I don't feel anyone as an enemy, but with people like, especially my wife, we have a lot of difference of opinion, right? So we may consider them that during that period to just wish them all.
So let's talk about. But somehow, those are not enemies.
Yeah,
so
that's what
you
I'm
have you have anger, but still you can't.
Yeah.
So
But if you don't have anyone as an enemy, like,
oh
you
yes.
you have any difference of opinion with other people.
Oh right, yes. So then, then at such times, so what you should do is, as I mentioned you, understand people are different.
Right.
They karmically and habitual wise, upbringing wise, people are different.
Yeah.
Then we try our best to change them. If you don't change, what to do? You can't do anything.
Right.
Therefore, do your part, and the rest you have to let the nature take care of. Right?
Right.
But you don't develop any grudge. You maintain your calmness and you do things as you do. If not, that will affect everything that you do in your life, and you won't be able to live happy. Okay? Yes. Then, Mr. Howard.
Good evening, Bante.
Good evening, Mr.
My
Howard.
mother Rita is here.
Yes.
Good evening.
Hi, Miss Rita.
Hello,
How
Bante.
are you doing?
Okay today, thank you.
Yes. Do you have any question?
Not today. I really don't have a question today.
Right,
I ask you, Bante.
Yes.
It's about teaching meditation. I've been working with people who I've been teaching so far, mostly the concentration meditation of breathing.
Yes.
It's been very successful, and I've been using the techniques that you have taught us. And I've actually taught one person the Vipassana meditation of the body scan and work with them in that. And then a group, one of our online groups I've worked with, teaching the externally. We never got to the internal mantra of them being able to perform individually within themselves the loving kindness meditation. But when do we know that we're, I personally feel I'm ready to teach elementary, the basic meditations that you've taught us. And I do have connections to the lessons when it comes to the friends and enemies of meditation, and what some of it's like, where do we get how do we start learning to cultivate and expand in helping others with their dealing with the enemies of meditation, if they have their wandering mind, because sometimes people think they're not having a good meditation versus this is my meditation now. How do I accept that, and how do I cultivate better meditation, I think, is my question, because so many people feel unsatisfactory, and I can't change them, but I want to be able to express to them, how do I get them to understand this is the meditation you had this time. Each meditation is going to be unique. Let it be what it is and be in that meditation without judging it. How do I get them
All
to?
right. So then you have to know the psychology that taught by the Buddha. So this is not the time to talk about psychology. So there are 6 kinds of individuals. You have recognized those 6 kinds of individuals, each person. So I mean, character-wise, all the beings have these. So they have one of these characters according to Buddha. And when we give meditation, better to give meditation. If we do it perfectly, then we have to teach them with those recognizing those characters. We have to teach them the perfect meditation which goes with their character. But when you go to teach vipassana meditation, loving kindness, and breathing, it is applicable to everybody.
Okay.
Right? So, Mr. Watt, you can use these three, right?
Yeah. Yes.
You can
Successful.
use these three. At first, you please start with them, teach them breathing. Then after that, please teach them loving kindness. If you teach, then after that, if you see like they are progressing, then as you can teach a little bit of vipassana meditation.
Very good.
Yes, please do like that.
Thank you, Bhante. Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Miss Kim, how about you? Miss Kim? Right. Right. I think she doesn't. Right. So it's already 9:30. I was to finish at 9:50. So let's conclude. So please keep on practicing. Stick to your schedule. I remind this every day because sometimes you lose the concentration. Sometimes if you don't develop determination, then sometimes you lose it and you start to postpone. Okay, today I'm not doing. Then after that, you bring the same tendency to the next day and next day and next day, like that. So try to practice every day and try to make it habitual. For an example, I'm translating one book, right? So I'm translating it into Sri Lankan language. So that book is called Still River Flowing. So it's a huge book. Even though I have a lot of work, I make sure at least to translate one sentence every day at night, so that I keep on going. When it becomes habitual, I realize you can't sleep without doing it. Somehow you want to do that, like that. So please try it. At the beginning it's hard, but gradually you'll be able to make it habitual. So stick to the schedule and please practice on that schedule. During that schedule time, please practice meditation. Then later on what will happen is you'll be able to make it habitual, and every day, whatever it happens during that time, you will get used to practice meditation, right? So please do that. Now we are going to finish. Everyone please think. Together all of us gathered here and practice this noble, non-sectarian, pure meditation technique, which is giving you a lot of, which rewards you with a lot of benefits in this life, a lot of benefits in the next life, and at the same time, which helps you to come out of all of your negativity, which helps you to develop a lot of positivities with it. And by the power of all the positivity that we accumulated, we'll be able to live our life comfortably, happily, peacefully, and successfully. Practicing this noble, non-sectarian Dhamma path, may all of us be able to attain real peace, real happiness, purification of mind, Nibbana. With those thoughts, please join your palms together and concentrate. Abhivadan silisse nichang vadda pachainu Chattaro dhamma vaddante ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti me vache ato nibbana sampatti iminate te samijjatu. May you all be well. May you all be happy. May you all be very peaceful. May all the good happen to you. Okay, good night, everyone. See you all in the next week. It's okay. Take rest.
Good night, Bante.
Good night,
Good night,
Mr. Juan.
Bhante.
Okay, good night, Mr. Bus. Good night, Miss Lace. Good night, Chris.